I carry all this stuff with me. Well, not all of it necessarily, but this is usually what I would carry with me. With that bag on the end being if I plan on playing Magic. And let me go through it all. My keychain, which I'll separate from all this. And I'll explain the keychain first. On the keychain is a Game Boy Micro, which is attached to this. Which I usually keep Super Puzzle Fighter 2 in. Let's change the focus so you can actually see it. So I usually carry that, because I usually play that. It's like my main on-the-go game. This is a DS accessory. It's actually one of those cleaning cloths. It pops out. You can fold it and shove it back in. The actual keys, there's several of them. My house keys, mail keys, safe keys. I have GameStop Power Up card here, a Hot Topic Plus one thing in my library card. Not that I usually go to the library that much because I can't really walk there. I live too far away. And my Soleus charger, which I use for my phone. That's my whole keychain. This is... I'm using my left hand to play with it. I'm right-handed, so anyway, let me switch hands. Well, you can't really see what I'm doing, can you? This is a butterfly bottle opener. I love flipping butterfly knives, but this I carry usually because, frankly, the knives aren't exactly. Well, it's not that they are legal, but I do believe concealed carry isn't legal without a license. I will eventually get one, but I like actually just flipping the things. I don't plan on stabbing people with the things usually, so I just carry this. Also, if someone gets a glass bottled soda, this comes in rather good use, so to speak. Mostly I just fuck with it. Anyway, there's that. My wallet, which is the kind that is made out of metal and it protects against, you know, the different credit card stealing methods. I only have a debit card and I don't really have any money in it right now, but you would tuck money in there. I have mostly cards of different kinds there. My phone, which is a pile of garbage for an Android. It's covered in fingerprints, but it's my phone, so I'm going to deal with it. My iPod Nano, absolutely tiny thing. Smallest piece of electronics I own that does the most for its size. And I like it. My headphones, they always get like this. Everyone's headphones gets like this, but they're, I believe, JVC gummy headphones. I usually get these. They're the kind I usually go with because they're A, cheap, and B, work relatively well and feel decent in my ears. Recent addition to the things I carry is a pink DS Lite, which someone got me yesterday, which I mentioned on G+. It's a DS Lite and it's pink. I'm actually not quite sure what pocket I'm keeping this in yet. I'll eventually do a video showing where I actually shove all this shit. But I rather like this mainly because I can play DS games again. I don't really care about the color. It's not like it's not even that obvious a pink. Like, in the naked eye, it's a little easier to tell, but on video, it almost looks white. See, yeah, if you look at it, okay, now you can kind of tell it's pink when I change the focus. Yeah, you can't even really tell it's pink. Like, you can sort of tell, but not really. In the naked eye, it's a little easier to tell, but most of the time, at least on video, you can't tell. I need to get a stylus for it, though. It came without one. Sad day. Anyway, also, I don't usually bother using the Game Boy Advance slot on this because I have a fucking micro. I'd rather play it on that. Besides, one thing I don't like about the DS Lite, or most Nintendo handhelds these days, is that these suck now. Here's the old here's the Game Boy Micro's D-pad. This is actually smaller than this one. Also, this one is a little bit fatter, so to speak, and has a much better feel. This one's kind of clicky. This is like pressy. Clicky and pressy. Does that make sense? Really get a better. Okay, wait. Actually, they're the same size, but this one feels squishier, and this one feels clickier. You know what I mean? And for the size ratio, this is a lot bigger than that. Like, size ratio. So for this system, this feels really good. For this kind of feels tiny. I wish it was a little bigger. Also, these buttons are fucking minuscule compared to these buttons. And just look. Yeah, these buttons are teeny tiny. I don't want to play my Game Boy Advance games with these two tiny buttons. Well, this has two big ass buttons in comparison. Also, what the fuck's up with these start and selects? I really don't like those. But this thing has really good battery life, so I dig it. But when I want to play a Game Boy Advance game, that's what this is for. And I can just keep this flush, and so there's not something jutting out like that far. Actually, how far does it jut out again? I still don't know why they thought that was a good idea. But then again, well, actually, I don't know. Yeah, that's why they took it out of the later models. In the original DS, it was fine because it was bigger and it actually fit in there, and I usually kept a game in there, but I'll just go without it. Thank you very much. I have a micro for a reason. Where was I? Oh, yes, all that stuff. Let me move it out of the way. Da, 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 da. Okay, and then this thing I wear on my belt. Now, it zips up like so, as soon as I can find the zipper with just my left hand. Normally I'm handling these things with both hands, but I'm filming with one hand, so that makes it a little difficult. Also, getting purchased on this thing to actually zip it's kind of hard without a second hand, because I'm using my knee to press on it and make it zip. But this I keep various things in. I haven't really filled it up yet, actually. I've only recently started using it. Hey, you can lift it like this, but normally I don't want to actually be holding on to some shit, right? So on the back is these two things. Also, there's more room for stuff in here, which I haven't figured out what I'm going to use for yet. Could use for a lot. This is, I believe, is a Game Boy Advance SP pouch, actually, but I found it. And I never really owned it. Actually, never owned a Game Boy Advance SP. I had the Classic and I've had the Micro. Never had the SP. I've used the SP a lot and it was good, but close this stupid thing. Close it. Thank you. Anyway, but yeah, I wouldn't usually carry it like this. I would have it on my belt like this, so it would be like that on me, except for it would probably be under my shirt. Now, that's only if I plan on going to play Magic at any point in time during that day, which is not usually. People usually play Magic in my house, actually, so I don't usually bother with this. Inside, I keep my dice set, my main 2 Magic decks, and this one, and then my spare Magic deck, which is made entirely of really old cards. It's not actually this, like, if you look this up online and you see this deck construction, it's from, like, 97. I like the box, and it has a lot of cards from that, but it's not that deck. I rebuilt it. But I still use that box. Also, it's a really fucking fragile box now. But so I keep it in this if I can actually fit it in there with one hand. There we go. I keep it in this sort of like padded area for protection reasons. So this is my Magic bag, so to speak. Mind, I have a lot more Magic cards that I could ever fit in this thing, but if I plan on just taking a few things Magic related anywhere, then I would use this, because actually just shoving the boxes in your pocket, it's kind of bulky, so having this is useful. And just can't get these all in here again. Just kind of pile it all together. That's all the stuff I'll carry with me at any given point, and I'm leaning back really uncomfortable. Oh shit, I fell on my back. Anyway, I was leaning back to try and get it all in the shot. I'm just sitting on my bed. I probably should have done this. Anyway, yeah, this is all the crap I'll carry on my person at any given point in time. Sometimes I might take this off here if I don't want it. It's pretty easy. I can just clip off the thing. The keychain, I usually keep this on. I mean, I take this off to charge it. This I recently added since I got my DS Lite here. I'm like, yeah, I found this. I'm like, cleaning cloth, why not? The Nano I don't usually I don't bring too often, but I bring it often enough. Usually I keep the Nano plugged into my alarm clock. Wallet I almost always bring with. Phone I always have with me. This I usually have in my hands anyway, because I play with these things too damn much. So it's very rare that I don't bring this. Also, almost about as often as my phone. If I'm gonna have any one of these and nothing else out of this pile, it would most likely be my phone. I mean, my keys are important, but my phone would be like, hey, I'm gonna call you, and I forgot my keys. So it makes it useful. But anyway, so usually I would bring, out of all these are the bare essentials out of all this, but sometimes I'll bring some of this. But yeah, these are things I carry on my person. I don't use any particular bag other than that, but usually like if I'm not going to carry a big bag full of other things, this is just what I would keep generally in my pockets. And I'm going to just stop rambling because I just noticed this video is 10 minutes long and totally pointless.